Brant Louie is one of a kind, a retail giant who is thriving at a time when retail giants are disappearing. The key to the success of his companies was established almost 100 years ago.
We call them the laws of heaven. By following those and how we deal with our vendors and our customers and our suppliers and our partners in our community, we're very well positioned going into the future.
And it says, treat your customers with trust and loyalty. When pursuing prosperity, you must follow the laws of heaven. Don't be afraid to be kind and charitable.
These principles have been the foundation of a rare company.
There's very few family companies that are over 100 years old. That has been done by generational pass down. Family companies have special values. Family companies operate in a different arena than public companies, and they have different scorecards.
Brant says receiving the torch is the hardest challenge he has faced.
One of the things that makes it so difficult is that if you feel that a family member has to always be in control and be running the operations of the business, then you're not necessarily getting the best person for the job. We take a philosophy here that the best person, whether he's a family member or whether they're an outside person, should get the job of running the business.
It does not matter that you were born to be at the top or near the top in a family company. You have to respect everybody in the organization and utilize the assets you have within that organization to drive it more than what the individuals themselves could do.
One of the old tenets for leadership is surround yourself with people smarter and who can do things better than you, and he's embraced that. He's embraced that very well.
The right person for the job is an extension of the focus on team that forms the basis of the cultures at the companies under Brant's leadership. It helps explain why so many staff live out their careers with the Louie Group of companies.
We've got people whose families have worked for us for generations, where we've had the father and son work, until the day they retired. We've had people who started with us at 18 and retired with us at 65. I would like to think they stay with us because they enjoy working for us, they enjoy the culture, and hopefully we can reciprocate by giving them the opportunity to develop their own passions and their own skills in whatever expertise they have.
For the Louie Group, that generosity of spirit extends beyond the company.
We believe that everybody has to get a reasonable return on their investments, and that includes our suppliers and vendors. And we understand that they have to make money as much as we have to make money.
Those are the core internal values. However, to be successful in the rapidly changing dynamic of the retail world, your core external values need to be firmly entrenched. Those values were prescribed by H.Y. Louie when he said, treat your customers with trust and loyalty.
I think the common theme he found throughout his ancillary organizations and the core businesses for us has really been service.
One of the key issues that never changes with retail is you have to be prepared to serve your customer. At the end of the day, it's not always the lowest price that counts. It's a bundle of values that the consumer looks at.
And the last law of heaven is, don't be afraid to be kind and charitable.
We have been successful. It's because of the communities and the people who lived in those communities that supported us. They're our customers, they're our employees. And so we have a policy where we always try and give back to those communities.
For more than a quarter century, Brant has led and guided the H.Y. Louie Company, adding Londonayre and Sonora Lodge. And now, working with his sons, the fourth generation of the family, they have introduced Fresh Street Market.
The difficult thing, I think, is when you try and modernize that. How do you fit those values and context into today's times? And so I think that's always been the challenge that any generation who comes in has to do, and certainly what my dad has had to do for the last 30 years.
He's always been a visionary. Our family has always been a visionary, right from when H.Y. Louie first took the risk to sail across from China, not knowing what lay before us in the new land. They had a vision of what they wanted. They had a vision of the better life. And he's just taken those lessons and carried it forth. He's been a visionary all his life. He's tried to pass that down to my brother and I, and hopefully that's part of the value set that will lead us forward into the future.